Hey folks, how are we? Long time no stream, and as you can probably tell, it's been an evening fraught with technical issues. Had already had a misfire on the stream once. I expect we're going to run into a few more things, especially with this experimental unit with experimental drivers. All the same, I'm going to try and do my best to get through a practice session here at RaceRoom, try and tune this beautiful Grello Porsche into something useful, and yeah, hopefully have a nice long 2.5 hour race, and yeah, enjoy the pit stops, enjoy the 24-hour circuit as always, and yeah, see how well the CSL DD pairs with RaceRoom as a whole. So, whenever you're using Alcantara grips, always got to protect the grips more so than your hands. But I've got to say, the last 6 months probably has reminded me why I haven't owned an AMD-based PC for the last 20 years. Definitely, if you want more spice in your life, buy an AMD. You never quite know when the crash is around the corner, usually at the worst possible moment. Jamie, Hugginator, how you doing? Can never tell when the chat's lagging, so say hey guys if you're in there. Let me know where you're tuning in from, I'm always kind of curious to know. Assuming YouTube hasn't completely killed my viewership from that last crash that we had. Alright, let's warm some stuff up. I am trying to get this car to rotate a bit more, so let's see if we can do that. Welsh, how you doing? PM Gaming, good to see you. There we go. What I might do is turn this down for myself before it deafens me. There we go. Hey, all over the place, but mostly Europe as always. Conveniently because I'm streaming in your time zone. Almost as if on purpose. Alright, it's already rotating a bit more, that's good. So one of the fun things I've been contending with for the last 6 months, as well as intermittent streaming crashes, is micro stutter. So I'm getting an absolute ton of micro stutter as I drive now. It's intermittent, it comes and it goes. I'll wipe my drivers, do a clean sweep, it'll be beautiful for all of a day or two, and then it'll just go back to sucking again. And that's one of the wonderful things about Windows 10 is that you never know when an update is coming because they just install them in the background without telling you. And much of the time, it breaks certain critical driver settings, which I'm getting to enjoy all over again with this glorious micro stutter, though at least the car is rotating. I'm going to take the win where I can get it. Why stream at 8 o'clock? For the Europeans. Usually around this time. I mean, technically, later is better. So normally I would start a stream at like 10 to midnight. That's usually when the Europeans are up and doing their thing. And that's where the biggest sim racing viewership is. Woo, that micro stutter is glorious. AMD, sponsor me. I want to endorse your mediocre hardware now that I've spent 10 grand on a PC that barely works. One of the annoying things about the Nordschleife, guys, is that I struggle to read the chat while driving it. As you can see, the track is just manic. I need one of those massive screens above me like GM has. Yeah, my sleep schedule is not going to be all that great, but that's all good. We're here to just enjoy the evening. Gotta say, it's feeling pretty good, this wheel in my hands. I've already had a bunch of issues involving Fanalab and all that other stuff. I was trying to get Fanalab up so I can see my flashing LEDs and, you know, all that fun stuff in the Formula Rim. But it's completely dead for me right now. I'm seeing nothing, but I'm feeling everything. The CSL DD and RaceRoom are like a match made in heaven. So good, so good. Hey FBI, I'll let you know I read your message there without dying yet. Made it through the foxhole and everything. But yeah, multi-class at Nords is just the best thing ever, isn't it? So if anyone recalls, if you were here for the last time I tried to stream this, RaceRoom actually had a bug where the AI just wouldn't pit. So they couldn't work out how to not run out of fuel here on the Nordschleife. I'm hoping the devs said they patched that out, so you know, I suppose we'll wait and see. And then after this, I can spend the rest of the evening trying to work out what's causing the micro stutter in my rig this time. So there's always a new wonderful cause. A while back, I think in March, it was actually a Windows 10 update. So they secretly introduced a bug to everybody that caused micro stuttering in games if you use multi-monitor setups. And, you know, special prize goes to the person who guesses, what do you think streamers use when they stream? So Microsoft basically just ruined streaming with one update that took them close to 4 months to fix. And may not have been fixed yet based on this, but hey, who knows? Gotta say, taking solace where I can, this is feeling really good in my hands. Yeah, RaceRoom honestly has been amazing. I spent a whole evening driving it with the CSL DD. Just before the review went live, was driving the Porsche Cup car, the BMW M, what is it, 235i, the old version of my M2. Beautiful, such great stock setups, such amazing force feedback. If you guys drive RaceRoom with a DD wheel, oh, you're gonna love it. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Gamiha, sorry, I'm very bad with pronunciations.
Okay, you've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Oh, the car's rotating. Yeah, Kerosene, Windows 10 has been one of my greatest mistakes of recent times. I upgraded because they arbitrarily limit you into some things. So you can't actually record videos any longer than 4 or any larger than 4 gig on Windows 7. And that's the only reason I upgraded. To be able to actually record proper sized videos. And I still regret it. The amount of issues I've introduced into my life since moving to Windows 10, catastrophic. One of the worst OSs I've ever used. Absolute disaster. And I think Microsoft know it because they're releasing 11, and 11 was never actually meant to exist. So those of you wondering what's going on here right now, the reason I'm driving by myself is I'm trying to basically get a setup down for the N24 layout that I know is going to be reasonably balanced, because normally this Porsche is really, really understeery. I feel like it still needs to rotate a bit more. It's feeling pretty good though, it's like 90% of the way there. Still a little understeery. And for anybody wondering, yeah, understeer. So, for anybody wondering, other than understeer, I've got this base set at 100 force feedback, so the full 8 Newton meters. And the game is actually set to 100 as well, so I'm getting the full maximum dynamic range it'll output. You can actually see the force feedback signal right down there in front and beneath me. See, almost clipping. I've set it up perfectly. You get, oh, a little clip there. You know, you gotta make these sacrifices sometimes. I'm gonna get back into the pits and catch up on the chat on Heusinkveld. Yeah, Kerosene, the new wheel looks amazing. Rather, the wheelbase, it's tiny as well, right? How hilarious is it? Okay. Hugginator, I think that'd be a minor miracle at this point if Microsoft do anything well. What I know from working with coders is they just cover bad code with more code rather than going back and fixing the issues. And Microsoft is building on a code base that's a quarter century old now, if not older. It's a complete disaster of an OS. I know that because my coders absolutely hate it. Sorry to hear about your hard drive, by the way. So this is actually a pro tip, guys. If you've got a CSL DD coming or whatnot, I use the Formula V2 rim with it because you actually get more of the forces. You actually get more out of your 8 Newton meters. You get more detail. You have to fight the wheel more. Obviously, the larger the diameter, the more the forces are diffused, the better your leverage on the wheel, and the less you feel like you get out of it. So you can actually kind of hack your way into a really good experience here by just using a really small diameter wheel. So the Formula V2 is actually perfect for the CSL DD. This is the perfect amount of force for me. Alright, I'm reasonably... Wow! Alright, good. I'm reasonably happy with that. So now I'm going to set up a quali session with everyone. So you guys can see, no lies between us, no secrets. You can see how I race here, what level the AI is. Came prepared, guys. There we go. Gonna have about 44 cars. I would have obviously a full grid of 100 if RaceRoom wouldn't explode. So as you guys probably know, RaceRoom is on DirectX 9, which means it only uses one core of the CPU, which is kind of hilarious when you have a 16-core CPU, as bad as it may be. You're leaving a little bit of performance on the table there. So unfortunately, the more you pack it in with AI, the more artificial slowdown that you get, and I feel like I don't need to exacerbate any more issues from my setup right now. So AI is going to be at 115 out of 120, which by RaceRoom standards, I think is pretty damn high. We'll be doing the 24-hour layout, of course. We've got the TC Cup cars, the Carrera Cup Classic, just so I've got someone to lap really quickly. Welcome one and all to the channel, by the way. We've got the M235i as well. That'd be the BMW, the old version of my car. GT4s, of course, and the GT3s, which is the class I'll be racing in here. And yeah, everything else you can see. I've tried to set this up for maximum RaceRoom stability. Pray for mojo, as they say. Hey Will, how you doing? Pan. Pan, I saw an update where allegedly the AI issue was fixed. So hey, I mean, I've given the guys enough time, right? I mean, we reported the issue what feels like several weeks ago now, if not a month ago. So I mean, you know, if it hasn't been fixed at this point, you know. Will, when you say monitors, you mean speakers or the actual visual monitors? That's an audio slang term we use, like when we say studio monitors, we mean speakers. Nick, what's up? Huggy, it sounds like you've had all the luck with Windows 10. Maybe I should start a group for people abused by Windows 10. Windows 10, I don't know. OS Anonymous. Yeah, Oscar, most of the cars in RaceRoom sound really good. It's such a great sounding game. Honestly, call me crazy, I actually like the look of it too. Just bear with me, right? Let's compare it to something that looks really good like ACC. ACC uses all the visual flair. It's got, like, you know, various lens flares and light shafts and PBR surfaces and all kinds of things, SSAO. But it looks like it's skipping frames all the time, and there's all this texture pop in, and it looks kind of grainy yet blurry at the same time, like Unreal 4 kind of tends to. Because this engine is so bare bones, they've kind of had to just create really solid objects because they can't rely on any visual trickery. So this game, when you're not getting micro stutters on account of Windows 10, Nvidia, or AMD, any of which in combination, it's so smooth. It's so buttery smooth and beautiful to drive in, and I really love that because I just care about the experience. Will, the visual monitor. I'm currently using an LG C9X. How many inch TV? 65-inch, 55-inch, 55-inch TV. That's what I'm playing on right now. So normally I'd be running at 4K, but I've got it scaled down to 1440p for the sake of the stream. Not that it's helping me much. Kraken, I agree. I think AMS2, when you really get into it, it doesn't have the most detailed models, but it just looks so damn good. It's just so well put together, and it runs so good even at 4K. Like, that engine, it angers me sometimes, because that engine should be so good. On paper, the Madness engine should be the best thing that we have in sim racing. Yet when you drive in it, it isn't, you know? But visually, I agree, it looks stellar. Looks, especially time of day change, weather change, when you're chasing puddles as the road is drying up and your wets are overheating. That was one of my favorite things I've done in recent times in sim racing. Will, I'm not really a monitor expert. Maybe somebody in the chat can help you out. Kiel, dobar dan, what's up? Mark, I use Event Opal monitors. I've been using those since 2009. Miracle that they still run, but they're my favorites. They've gotten me through the majority of my audio career. My interface is a Benchmark DAC3DX. It doubles back as audiophile grade gear as well. Really, really good interface. Alright. I need to stop procrastinating. Here we go. So, I'm going to do one practice lap with the field just to see whether it's solid. Then we're going to go and do quali, and then we're going to do our 16-lap race. I hope that's 2 fuel tanks for this car. If it isn't, I am El Scrudo. Look how gorgeous that car is, man. I wish I could just have that on my road car all the time. Even the wing, especially the wing. Yeah, more oversteer. Always more oversteer. Alright, here we go. Gonna be a bit of traffic out here. One thing I can say is with the CSL DD, for some reason the low-level damping forces don't work in RaceRoom yet. Not sure what that's about. Oh man, the micro stutter is off the hook. We'll try 20% TC, that normally works pretty well for me with the Porsche. Honestly, if I'm able to do this with this level of stuttering, I am a god. Charles, yeah, I play ACC all the time. I'm actually taking part in the 10 Hours of Silverstone on SGP, the Jimmer versus Jardiere event, so that's going to be exciting. Silverstone, my worst track in sim racing, against a very high tier grid. It's gonna be awesome. I know, right? How good is the sound? I'm gonna stop talking for a while so you guys can enjoy it. For all of like 15 seconds, I promise. Alright, I hit the brakes. You have to listen to me talk again. No. Alright, gotta loop around here.
Stay sharp. Green flag.
Don't do this in real life. Stick to the right. This slowdown is glorious. This is classic RaceRoom. I'm not sure what you mean, Huggy. They're both direct drives. Well, rather, all 3 of my units are direct drives. So I've switched to DD over a year ago. Hey, there's that BMW. Looks pretty. Wait, why are you there? Oh, what are you doing, mate? Was that him ceding the line to me and then... Whatever. Definitely one of the better AI in sim racing in RaceRoom, usually. Don't want to jinx it. Feeling pretty good about this setup. I had to really crank the rear sway bar. For some reason, the default on the Porsche is super understeery. Man, that micro stutter was godlike. I lost like a third of a second then. Whoop. Hey, that's better. Can overdrive the car a bit more now. It might bite me back on the Nordschleife though. I might need to crank up the rear wing by a point.
Incident in Sector 1. Sector 1 is yellow.
Wait, you think the shadows and the track detail are causing the stuttering? I don't know. I feel like I've driven in this with everything maxed with no stutter.
Sector 1 is clear.
Again, there are so many sources of stutter currently in, God, in everything. With my TV, there are known issues of flickering. Windows 10, keep adding updates that cause micro stutter. NVIDIA drivers, I keep cleaning them with DDU and it's just like, nah.
Yellow flag in Sector 1.
Woo, that was a big one. God, I wish it were the real Kevin van der Linde. That'd be awesome. Hey, Amatis. How you doing? You are forever known as Amatis. I will never use your real name. Thanks for all the advice about the stutter, guys. I'm sure it could be a myriad. Oh, the car rotates. Yes, I made the Porsche rotate. Wait, Kiel, so you're saying AutoHUD causes stuttering? Why the hell is it recommended? Stuttering is like completely unacceptable in all games. If something causes stutter, it just shouldn't be brought to market. It just shouldn't be released. I mean, imagine we live in a world where we have 350 hertz monitors, yet your frame time's just like dropping out constantly. It just makes no sense. I mean, what are we spending all this money for? Why have I spent over $2,000 on a TV? Oh, the car's driving well now, guys. Yes. This is the Porsche I wanted, rotatey. The stutter came with the latest patch. Oh, that sucks. Okay, that explains it. Alright guys, you know what? I'm gonna complete this lap. I'm gonna get into the pits. You guys are gonna let me know exactly what settings to change in the menu. And hopefully that won't cause a crash of the stream, because it has earlier tonight. Every time I've tried to alt-tab out of the game, it's done weird things. So, assuming I hang around, I'll run the changes, and we'll see if it helps the stutter. Alright, deal? And maybe at some point down the line, the R3E devs can add in some code to use the other 15 cores of my CPU to render shadows. Change resolution to 720p. That will be a hard no from me. I'm always channeling my inner Kevin Estra. I love it. It just shifts to understeer the moment you get on the power, just like the real thing. Yes, she rotates. She rotates and is stable on power too. Yeah, I'm thinking 320 by 200 like the old DOS games I used to play as a kid. What do you guys feel about that? Get some nostalgia. Get a nice big nostalgia bang. Can play that Micro Pros F1 game that's Niels Heusinkveld's been playing lately. I love this track so much. Yes. One thing I love about this base is it makes me feel like more of an alpha because I'm running everything at 100. Like quite literally all the forces are run at 100 in RaceRoom, and it's pretty much the perfect amount. Even with this smaller wheel, I'm just like, yeah, that's it. Meanwhile with the DD1, I'm running like 30%. I'm having to look over and check to see if the stream is frozen every so often. I had some cracking issues before we started.
Sector 3 is clear.
Guys, you know what? I'm going to stop complaining until, well, I mean, when the micro stutter stops going, I'm going to stop complaining, but the driving experience in RaceRoom, it's so good. It's so good with the CSL DD. It's so good. I love this sim. I really do. I'm kind of pissed off at that because I didn't need another sim to have to keep installed on the PC, but here we are. What's funny is that every instance where I've like compared a car and track combination between RaceRoom and R-Factor, RaceRoom has kind of smoked R-Factor, which I don't know what to make of that, if I'm honest. Which is extra impressive, given that the track quality in R-Factor is so much better than RaceRoom. Like, any given Studio 397 track dominates any track in RaceRoom, yet I'd still rather drive it in RaceRoom. What does that mean? Shiv, just for you. Wait, that's off the camera. I'm gonna see if I can do it there. Yep, just barely. It's a hard setup to flex in. It's also difficult to flex when the government lock you out of the gym for most of the year. Let's see if I can practice this whole thing. I think it's here.
Activate limiter.
Okay, cool. So if I brake as soon as the barrier comes in, that's about perfect. Great.
That's a new fastest lap for Sylvester, 8:23.8.
Alright folks, taking suggestions, what am I changing in the in-game settings to get past this wonderful micro stutter? Mark, I'm glad to hear that. They were very nice enough to spot me the content when I did the review video, because obviously the reviews can take a while. I just fell in love immediately. I mean, that was like the longest day of my life. I think I drove in RaceRoom for like 16 hours straight. I remember waking up the next day after like 12 hours and just being sore all over. The DTMs, they're so good. The DTMs are amazing. I'm sure the open wheelers are amazing. People say good things about those, but I'm not really an open wheeler guy. Ooh, that's a terrible lap. My apologies about that, guys. My laps will be closer to the 8:15 range, I think, once we get into it. I don't know why I did an 8:30. Must have just kind of... Yeah, I don't know. Shadows off? Really? Okay, so disable the relative
the guy
blocks.
behind has just done at 8:31.2 seconds.
Turn off shadows. So if I alt tab now and disable auto HUD, the stream will crash. So I would rather not do that. But I will change the shadows. And hopefully that won't lead to a crash. Really? I can't do... Alright, whatever. Back out we go. Yeah, it sounds like it's a bit of a mess. if auto HUD's causing all that. Look, I'm going to try the shadows. Whether or not they work, I'm going to go ahead and do this race, stuttering or no. Appreciate the help, but that can be my added challenge for tonight. 2.5 hours of stuttery RaceRoom. It'll make me feel more comfortable. It'll feel like driving an R-Factor. All right, so you guys said contact shadows at 8? But then shadows at no, right? So we got that. Let me know what else. If I quit, guys, I quit the stream. There ain't no coming back. Yes, Mark. If I just Alt-Tab out of the game to try and shut down Crew Chief, everything will crash. OBS will crash. YouTube will ban me. You know, pigs will fly. The Antichrist will rise. It's known as buying an AMD and running Windows 10. It's the match made in heaven. So, do we turn the shadows off? This is our like trial and error time. See if any in-game settings actually change anything. Bottom shadows? I highly doubt it's any of these settings, if I'm honest, unless there's something really, really wrong with the code base of the game. Because I've got a pretty good system overall. So the things that are bottlenecking it are clearly bugs somewhere. All right, too many conflicting things. I'm just rolling with something. Too much waiting. I need a race. The night is not going to be young forever. Cool. For better or worse, here we go. Cool, Kel. I'll do that. Thanks. I think I turned on the relative the other day, and that was when the stuttering may have started. So, you might be onto something there. That'll be in-game, though. Trucking, that's awesome to hear. It's a wonderful sim, isn't it, when it's working as it should be. We've kind of, we've come to be used to this in sim racing, haven't we? It's just kind of the way things are. Just wade through, wade through tiers of bugs to get to the beautiful experience underneath. Oh, you know, Plague Dr. Johnson, you got to keep the chat enthused somehow. All input matters, you know. I'm certainly no expert on RaceRoom. Could be anything causing micro stutters. Hell, could be some new NVIDIA driver thing that installed itself overnight while I wasn't looking. Could be any myriad of Windows 10 settings. 6 AM, hell yeah. Yeah, James, I think you're gonna have to upgrade more than just my RAM to get this system running right. Woo! I'm tempted to troll you guys. It'll be like, yeah, I'll just turn off AutoHUD. Just like hit that Alt-Tab and that's it. Game over. Error 404. Format C. Oh good, Windows 11. Even more bad code to cover the other shitty code. Can't wait. You should get back to watching the railway, Luke. Could be people that need to be exploded. Or whatever it is that you do. Okay. Disabling the relative. Let's do it. That kind of sucks though, because I kind of need the relative. Well, I mean, I like the whatever. It is what it is. Stig, how you doing? Lewis, how you doing? Jonas. Malcolm, yes, I do get to keep the CSL DD, which is good because I plan to use it as my main. Can you mount? I'm sure you can mount the CSL DD on a play seat challenge. I'd be surprised if you couldn't. The position. Like, how am I supposed to know where I am in the race, Kel? I mean, come on, I've got to leave the other stuff. I need some of this stuff, you know? Melty, I'm a Fanatec shill, that's why I have a CSL DD. Alright, let's go with my ice cold tires.
Watch your mirrors, there's a car approaching. You need to get some heat into these brakes. Sector 1 is yellow.
Nope. Still maximum micro stutter. None of that helped. In the slightest. The game just looks worse now. Yes. That AMD / Windows 10 life. Can't wait. Can't wait for it to get even worse with 11. Oh, that is awful. Alright. Look guys, if the game's gonna run like shit, I'm gonna at least make it look good and I'm gonna look at my relatives. So while I'm cursing the frame rate, I'm at least gonna enjoy myself. Alright, that's it. We're owning it. We're owning the frame skips. It's good. It's like delving back in time. Except not. I don't think I ever had frame timing issues back in the old days. I think when we were running Windows XP, that was one of the most rock solid times in Windows history, especially during Tiny XP when they cleared it all out. I think the best fix for stutter in this would be for them to just sort out whatever issues are causing stutter and releasing it as a patch. I think that would be the best possible fix. And on my end, the best possible fix would be to maybe send a certain special package to AMD, Freudian slip, AMD HQ, be like, hey, you know how you like abandon those of us who stream with USB issues, like catastrophic USB issues for over 6 months? Yeah, we appreciate that, especially when we pay over $8 grand for a PC. Endorse me, AMD. I'll totally like flip the script tomorrow. I'll be like, yeah, no, AMD's best CPU I ever had. That's why I have 20 of them now for some reason. Matthew, yeah, Windows 7 was quite good as well, especially towards the end. I loved it. Nikki Sticks, I've done Will's ultra performance mode thing. It didn't actually change anything for me, unfortunately. I had a lot of issues that I thought it might help resolve, but sadly no. Windows 10's issues are so deep, so interwoven in the core code, I'm not sure any amount of performance mode is going to help anyone with anything. Alright, I'm definitely done with this. I'm just going to load this up and have at it. Straight to the quality session, guys. Here we go. Really, the Carrera comes out first.
Cross the white line. Okay, we've got
all right, here we go.
minutes to get a decent lap in. The brake temperatures are low. We need to get some heat.
Whoa. All right, cold brakes are a thing. Here we go. I've never played Euro Truck Sim. Is it good? Hey look, now while it's massively micro-stuttering, like catastrophically, at least I can see all the data that I need. I wonder how many RaceRoom streams it's going to take until I eventually have one where the game runs normally. I feel like I'm delving into the whole R Factor thing again, you know? This feels very familiar. It's like anytime I try to do something on the fly, it just craps itself like a geriatric in a nursing home. That should be AMD's motto. Goes like a geriatric in a nursing home. Honestly, there's no end to the list of things I could try, but the list of them I will try while live on stream is currently 0. So let's just get the quali done. So I've got to wrap myself. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. I'm losing like half second at a time in these stutters.
Yellow flag, incident clear, green flag.
Alright, here we go. Ermin shutty up time now, or at least I'm going to try. Miko, how you doing? My apologies for not looking at the chat for the next few minutes. I need to really give this the beans. Oh, I love the way RaceRoom feels. Feels so good. Yes. Got this car rotating finally. Oh my god. I'm losing so much. Like the car teleports to a different position by the time the micro stutter ends. It's quite impressive. Yeah, nice. Just cut me off, brother.
They're still there.
Really?
You're right.
Really? Really? While under blue flag?
Stay right. You're clear left. Car to your left. Clear.
Alright, here we go. That's definitely cost me some time there. Oh, I've really tuned this thing nicely though. It's feeling really good. Assuming I don't teleport into a wall halfway through on the Nordschleife. We'll look forward to that. Yeah, Lewis, you done goofed, brother. I spent 10 grand on this pile of crap. Worst system I've had in about 20 years. Absolute disaster. You should see when I'm trying to do my actual job. And it causes catastrophic crashes on a daily basis. I used to like occasionally engage in those AMD versus Intel debates. I think if I come across one of them now that happens in real life, if somebody shills for AMD, I'm just going to kick them in the face. That'll be my contribution to that conversation. I'm actually getting pretty good at driving with the stutters. So it's like its own skill set. Miko, how's it going? More gears. More gears. I demand a 7th gear. Maybe I should do, I can do like a high-tier influencer video, can't I? Like, insane man burns $10,000 PC. I totally would as well. If I could have it in slow motion in 4K, just the footage of this system burning. That's the kind of legacy I want to leave to the world. Hopefully if I can cause a dip in AMD's market share as well. Oh. Well, Lewis, the 5950 is the one that I'm using, so good luck. Triple good luck, mate. You have 16 different potentials for things to go wrong. of which RaceRoom will only use one. What do I think of my new rig? I love it. I wish it were legal for me to marry it. Alright, for those that have just joined us, my little tirade is aimed at some interesting little tech issues I've been suffering through all night, or... Well, I mean, if you extrapolate it for the last 6 months. But I'm here, I'm actually doing a quali lap. I don't know why I keep talking, because I'm trying to qualify. And we're going to start our 2-hour race shortly thereafter. I get one lap, get one chance to get this right. How well do I truly know the Nordschleife? Not well enough, given that sector one time. Somebody's gotten the purple ahead of me. Which kind of makes sense, given that I was being held up by a GT4. Oh, that was alright, it was alright. Miko, I would recommend the CSL DD. I enjoy it greatly. HSK, I really don't know. I mean, I get micro stutters everywhere all the time, so it's hard to know what comes from RaceRoom, what comes from AMD, what comes from NVIDIA, what comes from Windows 10. By the time I squash one source of micro stutters, another one just comes around the corner. I've spent 6 months now trying to get rid of them, to no avail. So our PC is a utter disaster, if I put it mildly. Why go-karts are so unrealistic in racing games? Maybe nobody cares enough to simulate them correctly. It's probably a really small market. I think most people that go-kart just go-kart, you know? It's not like it's financially out of reach, like, you know, higher tier motorsport. Oh, this car, guys. I've tuned it like a boss. Woo! Damn! Look at that. Look at that. And look at that force feedback graph beneath me. Look how sick those forces are. Look how well I've dialed it in. It's like just shy of clipping. You're getting it all. The full dynamic range. Come on. Yeah. That's the good stuff. Well, that was a good stutter there. I lost half my corner. Woo! I do love this sector. It's terrifying in real life. Truly terrifying. Hey, it actually rotates through there full on power now. Alright. Feeling pretty good about my setup. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, guys, RaceRoom is like BeamNG. You can just keep the car on the edge all the time because it actually communicates with you. I had a really, really big day yesterday because I'm shooting, believe it or not, a CSL DD force feedback guide for all sims. And I was driving a bunch in AC, and then I jumped to RaceRoom and BeamNG, and it was like, my God, RaceRoom and BeamNG are like, they feel like they're 20 years ahead of the original Assetto Corsa physics model. It's insane. You go back to it, you think you're playing an arcade game. It's crazy. It's crazy just how good RaceRoom is. It's just a shame that you can't get a steady frame rate out of it currently. You're losing time on the straight. Supercharger. Oh no! No, don't read the chat, Erman, no! Oh, disaster, why did I look at the chat then? Why did I look at the chat on the last braking zone? Oh no!
The bodywork's in pretty bad shape. We might need to fix that.
Oh, there's like 1.5 minutes left on the quali session. You guys ruined me. You've just ruined my race. I'm gonna end up what? I'm gonna end up last. I'm gonna end up... Alright, whatever. Alright, here we go.
16.9 seconds.
Here we go. I'm gonna have to work my way up through the rear of the field. Yeah, so it's
fastest lap for Lau, 8:13.7.
oh, I couldn't have done an 8:13. Anyway, this has exceeded my abilities. I can yell and drive on the Nordschleife, but I can't yell and drive and read and deal with micro stutters. I've got to like drop one of those. I can't do the 4. I can maybe do 3. Can definitely do 2. Come on, guys, keep going. Finish your laps. Let Papa Roman start last. It's alright, it's gonna be more fun now. Get to do what I do best. This always happens in online races. I just get punted or something, or make a stupid mistake, and I gotta fight my way back. They are the best races. Assuming the other classes actually manage to finish their laps on time. Yep, EC. Yep. I'm getting better though. I used to crash all the time when reading on the Nordschleife, but it's a tricky track. It's a tricky track to drive and, well, qualify and read on. Edvis, my M2, it's collecting dust in my driveway, I think, basically waiting for me to put it up for sale, predominantly.
That's the end of the session. 15th place.
Believe it or not, when your country keeps you locked down for most of a year and a half, there's not much reason to use a car anymore. Alright, here we go. Full fuel load. Let's do this. That's okay. It's not too bad. I'm at the end of the GT3s, but not at the end of anyone else. I'll take it. It was going to be an okay lap too. I'm like, yeah, this has gone okay other than the GT4 car. And then the last braking zone, I forget to hit the brake. It was like, what? I want to blame AMD. Everything in this stream is AMD's fault because I decided it was. Even Otter HUD stuttering the game. I like that they sampled the trance around the track. PM, the car I had before the M2 is an old WRX, which I still have and still drive more than the M2. No, I don't like the BMW. It looks cool. You can get dates with it really easily, but in terms of actually enjoying driving, no. It has worse pedal and wheel feel than even my worst sim rig, which is quite impressive actually. You gotta hand it to BMW for being able to make a real car feel more dead than a sim.
Car right. Clear on the right side. Stay left.
Time to overtake. Oh, what the hell is that? What's going on? What's going on, boys? It's not it. It's not what you're looking for. Alright, we got it. Let's get the draft. Where am I? 12th. That's it. Already gaining positions. T1. Full sim racer, baby. Bear in mind, guys, the AI is set to 115, which I think by RaceRoom standards is reasonably high. Plans for the M2, yes, sell it. And hopefully make money. Because it's a weird market out there right now. And it's a nice looking car, and people who don't enjoy driving would love the M2. It's very comfortable, insulates you from the driving experience completely. Spins the rear end way too easily, so you can't actually put down the power. But I figure when I relocate somewhere where freedom is still a thing, I'll do what I originally wanted to do, and I'll either get a C8, a Z06, or I'll get a McLaren 600 LT. I would imagine that where I end up is those cars will be a fair bit more affordable than they are here. Nice work, boys. But yes, my friends have suggested just getting like a Cayman. That was the candidate in the same price range as the M2 comp. Alright, come on, get into the zone. There's no way I can read that chat at this
Right
rate.
price is getting closer. The gap's now
I'm watching the messages come in and it's like, nah. I'm giving this everything I have right now. So as you can tell, the AI at 115 are quite rapid. They're quite fast, so it's going to take a bit out of me here.
Hold your nerve, just keep it smooth. No mistakes.
I probably should have downshifted there.
Sector 1 is clear.
Definitely don't sim race with a keyboard. Would not recommend. Oh, these stutters are so brutal. Come on, catch the AMG. I feel like at 115, the balance of performance is in the AI's favor. No matter how hard I drive, I just can't. It just seems like the AMG's got more grip than I do. Oh man, I just can't do it.
On your left. Leave it on the left.
I gotta really stop with this sim racing thing. Every time I try it on stream, it's like every bug in existence just kind of glares its head over. Rotate. Man. That guy's driving like he's got half a fuel load. HSK, I don't miss the force feedback from the DD1. I think this almost provides enough in a perfect scenario. Like it in no way is going to impede your driving at a high level. So the CSL DD, you can be as alien as you want with. Seriously? Does that guy have like 50 more horsepower or something? Where is he getting that gusto from? Okay, good. They still slow down there for no reason. Go, go, rubber band. Yep. They get better corner exits for some reason.
Big up to right price. Ahead is now.
What's funny about the carousel is it's completely different to ride in most of the major sims. I've been doing it a lot in Beam and G lately, where it's so different to RaceRoom, so I'm trying to just like finesse the pedal so I don't fly out. Oh, no! Oh, no, no, no! It's alright, we're good. We're good. We're in business. The car's a lot heavier with the fuel load. I think it's 120 litres. You can definitely feel it around those corners. I'm primed for the old quality load. CSL DD is going great. My God. I wish you guys could experience some of these stutters. They're truly godlike. Why am I a Porsche fan? I don't know, they're just fun to drive. And I mean, the Grello Porsche is synonymous with the Nordschleife, isn't it? Come on, please. I'm too far to get the draft. I tried, I really did. That's good to hear, Hits Mike. RaceRoom is a very, very impressive title. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my absolute favorites.
Left. Check your left.
Yes. Use your extra 200 horsepower.
Stay with them. Left.
We got freaking Christopher Meese in front of me there. They're just quicker. They're physically quicker, the AI there. They're just, it's, for some reason, they're able to put the power down more.
Left side. On the left.
Nice,
In the middle.
solid.
To left.
Solid work. Dude ripping a Verstappen move.
Right side. Still there. You're clear right.
Okay, I'll do my best to get the AMG.
Is increasing. It's now 1.9 seconds.
It's AI, of course, guys. I think racing against people would be a lot easier than this.
The gap to right price behind is increasing. It's now 0.8.
Yeah, the AI do flash in this game. It's very cool.
Alrighty, don't let this guy distract you. Incident in Sector 1. Sector 1 is yellow.
My God, the stutters really killed me then. I needed to snap back. I couldn't see it because I lost all the frames I needed while realigning the car. Disaster. Utter disaster. Can't even get the car straightened up.
Left side. Hold your line. Still there. Hold
Not
on.
having a good time, RaceRoom.
Left side.
Come on, don't let him get away. The guy ahead is right price.
On the right. Still there. Still there.
Too wide, baby. Through fluke plots. That's how it's done.
Sector 1.
Hold your line. Still there. Hold your line. They're still there. Still there. Hold on. Right side clear. Right. Clear in the right. Go, go, go.
Look at that. Look at that exit out of the corner. He's just doing it in a way that's not possible.
Still there. Stay with them. Still there.
Cool. I think we found out today that at 115 AI they do cool things. Things I wish I could do. Yeah, in better news, I am loving the force feedback feel here. It's really good in RaceRoom. Really enjoying it. I do find this odd because I was actually driving in RaceRoom all of last night without any stutters, so I don't know where this all came from overnight. Very frustrating though, because they're massive stutters on this end right now.
Front is increasing. It's now 2.1 seconds.
My god, they're insane. They're just ludicrous.
To offshore behind is now 7.7 seconds.
I'd be impressed if my GPU was overloaded. I've got some RaceRoom capped to 117 frames, and my 3080 would be crushing that right now, so I would hope not, you know? But maybe, you never know. There's always something with streaming, it's what I like about it. You think you've got everything ironed out and bulletproof, and then life kind of shows you all the things that can possibly go wrong. Oh god, stop reading, stop reading. Yes guys, make sure to like up the stream to help the algorithm if you want to hear more complaining from Erm and all that. I'll go make myself a cup of tea halfway through this, so you can pretend that you're watching GM. I'll bust out the politics halfway through. It'll be great.
Sector 1 is clear.
I do look forward to one day maybe having a system that's solid for streaming. I don't know what it's going to take. If a $10,000 PC can't do it, I'm not sure what can. But maybe one day I'll find what that thing is.
Front is now 3.5.
I'm glad to hear the stream's fun, guys. That's what matters here. I wish it were fine on my end too, so that I could actually drive confidently. I actually missed the shift then because it stuttered at the same time that I pressed the downshift. That's impressive. So even though the AI is superhuman and there's insane amounts of stuttering in game, I'm enjoying this quite a lot. Just the act of driving in RaceRoom with the CSL DD just feels amazing. That's why I spent so long doing this last night. We use gloves with Alcantara because we don't want our Alcantara to matte as quickly. Alcantara wears really fast, and if you sweat all over it, it wears far more quickly. Bad place to frame skip. Well, I haven't fallen too far behind. I thought I was doing really, really bad, but it looks like maybe if I set the AI to about 110, they'd be at my level, give or take.
Krista Dulu is now in the lead. Sector 3 is clear.
Waps, that's the feeling that I get when I use the CSL DD.
The gap to offshore behind is increasing. It's now 10 seconds.
It's, I don't know, I love this little wheel. But Fanatec have done so well. I can't imagine you really needing anything more than this, unless you're a really enthusiast grade user.
0.5 seconds.
I mean, even Jardier, if you saw his review, when he plugged in the 8 Newton meter power pack, he actually reduced the base to 80%, which is like 6 or so newtons, I'm guessing, roundabout.
Okay, the next car is Sylvester.
So he wasn't even using the full base. And, you know, He's about as alien as they get. Come on, Ermin. I get a free catch-up here in the GP circuit because the AI sucked through here for some reason. And then they own me on the Nordschleife with their magic tire grip. I mean, you can have a wheel that doesn't need gloves. I have plenty. You can have a leather-wrapped one if you want. You can have a rubber one like the McLaren GT3 rim. They're all in the back. I just felt like using the Formula V2 tonight, and I'm glad I did. It's a really good rim for the CSL DD. It's a good pairing of forces. That's it. Magic Space Age tires from Project Cars 3. They finally made their way into real racing. Finally made their way into RaceRoom. Oh man, that was a disaster. I got a massive, massive stutter the moment I went into turn to the apex, and it just like shot me out wide. This is great. There are so many levels of challenge to this right now. If I do this in a proper online race, I'm gonna feel like an absolute god after this. It's hard to snap the car back when you just don't know. I am losing the tires a bit though, I will say that. I get the feeling that I just aren't losing theirs as rapidly. Oh my god, I'm using every shortcut I know through Hudson Park and it's not helping. Shen, welcome. Matt K, how you guys doing? Welcome to the most complainy and tea-bereft stream in all of sim racing history. Wine AMD, Wine Windows 10, Wine Stutter something.
Ahead is now 1.4 seconds.
Feels so great, this driving experience though, I've got to say. Loving it. Loving it. RaceRoom in the CSL DD, a match made in heaven. Hey, glad you guys are starting to see the stutters. It's good fun, right? So it means it's not happening because of my TV, which is something. I thought it was happening because of the TV. So that eliminates one thing. Thought it was like a G-Sync issue. It's not a G-Sync issue because I disabled G-Sync and it still kept happening. OBS settings, maybe? I don't know anymore. I'm tired of the settings, I'm tired of the drivers, I'm tired of all the issues. It's been 6 months straight of me trying to stabilize this PC. I mean, realistically, at 10 grand, it should be making me breakfast in the morning. The last thing I should be needing to do is track down bugs. Alright, I'm managing to keep up with the AMG a bit more, that's something. Though he is falling behind from the guy in front, so the Porsches are doing okay here today. Yeah, but WAPs, it's probably 6 times less effective than yours. Take solace in that. Oh, thanks, Dinah. Yes, OBS is extremely finicky, I agree. I can't believe it's the de facto standard. It's some cheapo, open platform broadcasting software. Like, how did that become the de facto standard for an entire industry based around streaming, you know? The fact that you need to build a streaming-specific PC on the high end is pretty much revealing of everything there. Oh, that felt pretty good, actually.
Sylvest in front is now 1.9.
Sylvester, I'm coming for you. Not really, but I'm trying. Come on. All right. Learn the carousel, Ermin. Oh, it's slowing down. Oh, it's slowing down. Don't fly up, please, 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 please. Don't. No, 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 no. I'm struggling to get the pulse right in the carousel because it tends to really frame skip a lot there. So I'm just like, where do I keep my foot? All right, sector 3. Always a joy. So good. Car just rotates itself. Hugh Hattrick, welcome. Come on, mount both curbs, baby. Pretend you know what whipperman is. Ah, so good, so good. The way cars take curbs in RaceRoom is so good. It's the opposite of AC. In AC, you just go flying, like there's some weird suction effect. The car bottoms out, and you just fly, and it makes weird sounds. In RaceRoom, it's like, hey, did you know that you're racing on rubber currently, and rubber can actually conform to some extent to the surface beneath it? How do you feel about me conforming to this curb beneath you, and thus you traversing the curb much as one would in real life? Why yes, thank you, RaceRoom. I do thoroughly enjoy such things. Yes, sir. More, please. Starting to lose my freaking mind trying to chase this AMG with everything I have. It's just... I'm losing my tires, AMG. I'm losing my tires. What are you doing?
Green flag sector 1.
Why are you racing me so hard? I don't want to go drive DTM. Christian, can I have a seat for 2022? I know you're kicking out, Jaco. Come on! Come on! Get the bloody draw, man! I'm so close! Yes, I'm the super pasty Alex Albon.
Gap 2, Sylvest. Ahead is now 1.0.
My tyre temps are whack. What should they be at?
New fastest lap for Christy Dulu, 8:11.2 seconds.
I mean, how do I warm them up? Like, how high do I need to make the... I mean, I'm driving my ass off. Like, how do I make these tires warmer? Do I just overinflate them? Do we go like full 200 kPa? I mean, they're about 26 PSI, isn't that right? For GT3s?
Car to your right. Right side clear.
Oh yeah, baby. I know that you're coded not to be able to do T1 well. I would imagine the CSL DD feels awful on the F1 game, much like every other wheelbase does, because the F1 game just has awful canned forces. So I wouldn't really use that as a litmus test for anything personally.
Green flag sector 2.
Oh, this guy fell behind. It's time. It's my time. Yes. Yes, you suck. You suck. You suck, Boatley.
To your left.
Eat it. Eat my sick Grello butt. As we, I'm sure, are about to have a chat war about idyllic tyre temps in RaceRoom. GT3 tyre pressure between 27.5 and 28. Thank you. I'm sure that'd gain me a lot per lap, so I'll experiment with that after this. Hopefully after I get rid of the stutters.
Yellow flag sector 1. The remount behind is increasing. It's now 0.8. Sector 1 is clear.
all things considered, the car still feels like it's driving really well. My God, look at that speed boost the Bentley got there.
Distracted. Defend your position.
Hey SimHub, how you doing? Ooh, that was a good one. I lost like half a second there. Hey Joe, how you doing? Again, folks, my apologies that I can't be up with it in the chat, but this is taking everything I have, keeping this 115 AI behind me on what appear to not be idyllic tire pressures based on the community feedback.
Sector 3 is yellow.
No, it's not just RaceRoom I get stutters in. I periodically get stutters in everything. It depends on how my PC feels on any given day.
Sector 3.
Yeah, look at that! Where did he get that grip from? On the outside? Are you kidding me? There?
Left.
I'm sorry, mate. GZ3 cannot do that. Unless there's some, like, soft tire compound I'm not aware of. That was impossible. I'm like at the limit of my tire grip just trying to hold the inside, and this guy just casually waltzes around to the left. It's so good. Them's the kind of hacks I want. Alright, nice. In better news, the CSL DD is still feeling amazing. It's, you know, in spite of all the frustrations in this setup, you know, whether it be the stuttering or whatever else I'm complaining about, it's the underlying feeling of driving is so good. It's so fun in RaceRoom. It pairs so well with this thing. Yeah, upgrading NVIDIA drivers is like the worst thing you'll ever do in your life.
Smooth, no mistakes.
The thing is, I only use a studio driver, which is the ones that have been vetted for production use, because I obviously do a lot of video editing, image editing, audio work, so I can't afford the game-ready drivers. So I mean, if their studio drivers starting to suffer from micro stutter, then I don't know what else to say. Actually rode the carousel properly for once. Family? We're talking about family? Vin Diesel? Yes. Them's my kind of jokes. More bro jokes. Man, even though the guy is hacked behind me, like I'm having so much fun here. It's so fun to drive this car here, guys. It's so good. Seriously, it's so good. The core driving model of RaceRoom is so good. So damn good. As GM was saying though, I agree. It's a little bit, the drop-off is a little bit too smooth and too progressive. There's like too much room. ACC is a little more snappy, and I feel like ACC is a little bit more right in that regard. I don't know if it's the tire compound they're modeling or what, but it's a little too kind, I think, RaceRoom. As fun as it is while you're driving, it's probably too forgiving to bad driving. Which is why it's the one I stream with. Yes. The Porsche and the Green Hell are amazing. You do need to crank up the rear sway bar though. For some reason it's a very understeery Porsche. Come on. I gotta make up some gap to the Bentley there. This ain't gonna go well.
The gap to remount behind is increasing. It's now 0.8.
Use the whole track. Don't give him the draft. Don't give him the satisfaction.
Fastest lap for Christodoulou, 8:03.
Formula E has never really been my thing personally. Man, the Porsche Cup car in RF2, suicide. Yeah, Mike, ACC is very brutal until you get used to it. Very, very brutal. It hates bottoming out, it hates curbs, it hates everything, really. I would say in a lot of senses, it's, from what I've seen anyway, and from what I've been told by drivers, it's a little more unforgiving than real life under some circumstances. Alright, half the fuel load left.
Time to get defensive, mate. You've got about 4 laps of fuel left.
I hope it's not low quality.
23.8.
I mean, I'm streaming everything quite high. Maybe check your settings. It is a cute looking DD, isn't it?
Sector 1 is yellow. Yellow flag. Sector 1 is clear. The guy in front is Abilene.
Hey, you're all starting to see the stutters now? You know what, so long as you guys are sharing in my pain, I'm okay with it. As long as you understand, I'm not just making this stuff up, but I'm driving my heart out here with some less than ideal circumstances. I'm okay with that, you know? I'm totally okay with that. Hey, there we go. I actually got no stutters during that drift, so I actually got to finesse the throttle like I needed to. Oh, no, don't drift. Yeah, nice. You gotta love that about Porsches, don't you? You just let off the throttle and it's all good. But yeah, guys, if you enjoy my T-less whining, please do like the stream. And if you want to see more content on the CSL DD, the likes of which I'm presently shooting, well, I mean, not presently, but I mean, you know, I've got the videos accruing in the background. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss them. I've got a review of the CSL pedals coming up when I get the mounting bolts for them. Turns out the one thing Fanatec don't provide you is the 2 esoteric mounting bolts that you need to put it onto any normal rig. And because I'm in lockdown, I can't get said bolts. So the review's been delayed a little bit. Todd, the old baby DD is not hot at all. The passive fin design is amazing. Really good, really elegant design. Love it. I was not expecting to like this bass as much as I do. I don't know what to tell you. I like substantially prefer it to my DD1. It's weird. It's so weird. I use OMP KS4 gloves. Very, very worn, ratty ones that need to be replaced ASAP. Yeah, baby. Keep that Delta green. Oh, that was a good one. I'm like losing half a second worth of... Oh, that was a really good one too. Man. Whatever it is, whether it's AutoHUD or RaceRoom or OBS or Windows or NVIDIA or AMD, someone's trying to destroy me here tonight. I wish I could find out on any given evening who it is though. Because believe it or not, when you have 3 full-time jobs, it gets a little bit taxing trying to hunt down obscure errors with your PC for 6 months straight. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one there. I would expect the car to be a bit more snappy in that situation. I like that the Bentley's able to catch me even with front damage. He's just got all the moves.
Incident in Sector 1. Sector 1 is yellow.
Australia is just full of lunatics. That's why it keeps locking down. It's a really good testament to predictions made by Nietzsche about the emasculation of modern society and people becoming docile and herd-like and delegating more and more responsibility to the state. Australia is a perfect example of that kind of widespread emasculation. Hence why a year and a half later we're no closer to being done with this issue, and we still keep implementing the same ineffectual strategies. Hopefully that helps answer it somewhat.
It's now 1.5. Green flag sector
But I would recommend reading through Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra to find out more about this phenomena that we're living through right now, as well as Aldous Huxley's Brave New World and of course the ubiquitous George Orwell's 1984. Going to learn a lot about where the world's heading reading that one. But I'm going to stop talking about dystopia and totalitarianism and enjoy Sector 3. Oh, that was a good one. Almost lost the turn because of the stutter. That was good.
You should get about 10 more laps from this set of tyres.
10 more laps, you reckon, for this set of tyres? What, until they explode? I'm having so much fun, though, driving this with this base. I think I've slightly misadjusted one of the settings. I put linearity back up to 80% in the menu.
Yellow flag in Sector 3. Yellow flag in Sector 1. Sector 1 is clear.
It looks like Kisling has binned it.
Yellow flag Sector 1. Green flag Sector 3. Green flag Sector 1.
Kisling has just retired.
It's a great book, Mike. I think everybody needs to read it. I mean, assuming it's not part of their coursework. In my high school, I guess they didn't put much esteem in our intellectual capacity, I guess, because we got to read through Animal Farm, which is like the third grader version of 1984, you know? It's basically, the fable of how power corrupts, but written for children. Very specifically written about the communist revolution that had just happened in Russia at the time. Of course, it was written in the 30s. I think it was, late 30s, I think. Well, yeah, if you think that 1984 is a handbook, just look at the story of North Korea. So Yeonmi Park has been going around doing a lot of interviews with figures. She did one with Chris Williamson earlier. She did one with Lex Friedman, Jordan Peterson. She's been doing the entire circuit. I think she was on Joe Rogan Experience recently as well, essentially explaining how North Korea has used 1984 as a playbook. I mean, it's surreal. It's surreal that that can exist in the modern world. My tires aren't working. My tires aren't working. That's the biggest pressing worry in my life right now. My damn slicks. Do I recommend playing Assetto Corsa? It depends what you're after. A lot of people like it because of the variety of things. You can get anything for anything. But in terms of the pure driving experience, it's probably my least favorite sim out of all the sims I've driven. You know, the high tier sims, not like the Codemasters games. They don't count, you know? But yeah, AC's driving model is quite painfully outdated right now. And sure, some of the physics extensions have really helped, Soul, CSP, but ACC is just way more locked down. Which is why all the competitive stuff has moved to ACC, right? And it's good. It's a good platform. I'm getting used to these micro stutters. I'm going to call them macro stutters, I think, because there's nothing micro about them. Yeah, Will from Boosted keeps trying to convince me to do like a philosophy or like a self-improvement channel rather than sim racing. I don't know. It could have gone either way. I mean, both are massive hobbies of mine. I used to love bodybuilding back when I was allowed to do it. And I wasn't imprisoned in my own home for a year and a half at a time. But you know, small distinction there. Repeat after me. Democratic Republic. Actually, what is Australia? Is it a democratic republic or are we a constitutional monarchy? I think we could still be a constitutional monarchy. Because we never actually, like, kicked off the Queen. We're like, yeah, we like the Queen. She never comes down, but, you know, she's good. Hell yeah, the Queen.
Babylon, ahead is increasing. It's now 9.1.
Brian, no, I do not drive iRacing. I'm letting off too much there. What am I doing? I keep thinking I'm driving the Audi. Oh boy, them tires are losing their pizzazz. Rapidly losing their pizzazz. Yes, Robin, that's the spirit. Load up the sprints, get the brake doing 70 kilos of actuation force. That's what life's about. And then set the wheelbase to do 20 newton meters. Man, no need for a gym ever again. You know, it's actually kind of how I kept fit during the worst of lockdowns. It might sound ridiculous to you guys, but when I sit down to sim race, I'll usually do it for anywhere from minimum 4 hours at a time. And when I walk away, I'm just drenched. It's like coming out of a concert or something. You burn so many calories. My tires have seen better days. Come on, baby. Woo, that was a good stutter. I hope to one day attain the level of GM where he can just read everything while driving, no matter what the situation. I'm so jealous. So jealous. That is such a skill. It's a skill that him and Jardier have like just perfected. They have just gotten it right down. They could write books about it. Yeah, it's a little bit too sloppy on the edge, that's all. I would expect GT3s to be more snappy than this, you know? I mean, that's why I think GT3s are probably not the best class in RaceRoom. There are other ones that are way more fun. I think it's because the GT3s, at least in contrast to ACC, just don't feel quite dialed in. They're so fun though. It's really close. I mean, don't get me wrong, if I had the choice of driving the Nordschleife in this or the original AC, it'd be this any day of the week and 5 times on Sundays. Whew. DTM is amazing in our RaceRoom. Yeah, Robert. Yeah, TR8 is doing good, mate. The seat is keeping me quite warm. This material doesn't breathe very well. That's the only thing, is my back starts to sweat a lot on these long races. So usually caution people when they do long endurances. But yeah, other than the previously stated shifter position issues, it's quite nice. Really enjoying it. Really cool looking bit of kit. It's really prettied up my room. Our wheel is fantastic. Of all the things the micro stutters are hampering, it's my runs through the carousel that are suffering the most, because I don't know where the sweet spot is, and I'm afraid to just use the throttle like I should be. Damn granny shifting, not double clutching like I should be.
Sector 3 is yellow.
What does that mean? Who's crashed? Is it the guy ahead of me? Oh, free position. Oh yeah.
Flag, all clear.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Pure skill, baby. It's like I tell my man Misha, consistency is half the battle.
Sector 3
You just gotta
is clear.
stay alive. And the positions will come. To anybody that's just joined us, the reason I'm sucking so much is because I set the AI to 115 out of 120. It turns out that's like a quasi not so realistic setting in RaceRoom. At least I think it is. It's entirely possible that my tire pressures are so far off
Yellow flag, stay sharp.
that's that it's just robbing me of time, as well as obviously my another one.
Next car is
Guys, is
green
that
flag, you're clear.
is that the AI forgetting to pit again? No, it can't be. They didn't fix the bug.
Brad has retired from the race.
They didn't fix the bug.
Green flag, sector 3. Right,
Are you kidding
just
me?
retired from the race.
They didn't fix the bug. Oh,
Yellow flag.
are you serious? Are they?
For quite a lot of aero damage, you might have to come in and get it fixed. Incident clear, green flag.
Hugh, thank you so much for the £5, mate. Wow.
Watch your right. They're in the right. Go, go, go.
Yeah, man, I hit up my manager in the comments about the show. Thank you. Really appreciate that. I'm gonna find out more about that.
Ahead is increasing. It's now 16 seconds. Green flag, sector 3.
Stay left. Stay right.
Wow, I'm kind of bummed out, guys. If the thumbnail...
Right. You're right.
Really? That was a cool move. How to not spin in Assetto Corsa. Hit the close button and then load AMS2 and you'll never spin. At least not on the first lap. That was nice. I like that. Well, guys,
Green flag, you're clear.
I was actually going to title this video, Has the AI Learned to Pit? And I guess the self-evident
Yellow flag,
answer
stay
here
sharp.
is no, they've not. Just kill my engine.
Oh no, hey, restart it, get the clutch in next time. Premat is now retired.
Whew, wow. I mean, yeah. If it wouldn't be misleading for the thumbnail, I'd be kind of tempted to jump to like Road America or something and do it in the Porsche Cup car, because that's so fun. Yeah, I guess that is the silver lining. Man, that's a bummer, guys. I'm sorry about that. It's so many things to work through for these streams. I think RaceRoom definitely needs a bit of wrench work behind the scenes. I'm going to try and work out whether the micro stutters were coming due to issues with my computer, with my drivers, or whether it was due to the HUD, the update. I've got to really look into that, because it's really, really annoying when this kind of thing happens. So I'm going to take a bit of a dive after this stream, I think, and check out ACC, put in some practice there. Check out BeamNG and see what the micro stutter situation is. And yeah, maybe check out some other games and see what I can work out. So I'll try and report back when I work out what it was. But But yeah, unfortunately, we've copped another one of these. But at least I know for when they do fix this issue, I'll be driving against AI in the 110 range. I think that's a little bit more sane. It's a bit hard to tell because in practice sessions, they're really slow. Then in quali, they're really fast. And in the race, they tend to be really fast again. So it can be deceptive.
Whitman has just retired.
Take a sip out of my glorious pink water bottle. I feel like I've got a pump after that. That's awesome.
Block has retired.
I think I do, actually. I've been fighting. So, okay, there's another thing that I didn't include in my Fanatec CSL DD review.
Book has just retired from the race.
If you're looking to get a sick pump before going out for the clubs or trying to impress some ladies, you just put in an hour or two behind the 8NM version. Pretty good. Like, puff up the chest. Mostly the buys, though. Maybe the forearms a bit. Get some veins going.
Abelen is leading the race.
Alright folks, thank you for joining me for this strangely issue-fraught stream. It's not quite what I expected to happen, but I'll keep an eye out for when they do hopefully fix this issue eventually in RaceRoom, and meanwhile I'll try and work out where the stutters were coming from. Hopefully, piece by piece, we'll get a more rock-solid-esque experience without hopefully having to buy another rig just for streaming. That'd be a good thing to avoid, I think. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. Make sure to like up the stream, subscribe for future ones that are hopefully a touch more successful. I've got more content coming with the CSL DD, including, of course, a force feedback guide for all the major sims, just like we've done with the DD1 and DD2. I'm putting that together right now. I might drop it for the release of the unit, so you guys get it when you get yours. And yeah, just a bunch of other driving tests that we can do over time. So really, really enjoying this little bit of kit. It's A+ with RaceRoom. Don't let the issues dissuade you here. Check out RaceRoom. It's really, really fun. Anyway, until the next evening / morning / whatever it is, wherever you are, I will see you guys later.